Hello everybody and welcome back to Tech Yeah, the channel where we're just checking out really obscure things on old Windows 98 computers, at least for today. Anyways, this is going to be a video of my story going through this machine. A lot of people commented they wanted to see games running on it, as did I. So I jumped the gun getting the upgrades for this machine and before I really even had a chance to really take a deep dive and look into this machine. And it's probably something I should have done. So, come along with me through the trials and tribulations of getting World of Warcraft to run on a Windows 98 PC. It's gonna be a good one. Okay, so before adding the graphics card and the sound card bits to this old machine here, what I wanted to do was dress it up just a little bit. No, not like that. What I mean by dress it up is get it out of this really questionably ugly HP computer tortoise case. But before we can do that, we need to extract all of the components out of this old gargantuan metal beast. So let's go ahead and do that now, montage style. Alright, what's up guys? This is Future Garrett here. Okay, so this was the start of so many issues that I had with this Windows 98 computer right here behind me. Issues that likely went unnoticed when we took a look at it in my last video, as I really didn't spend a lot of time with the machine itself, as a lot of you pointed out in the comments that you would have liked to have seen games. So I didn't spend a lot of intimate time with the machine before I fired off on the GPU and RAM upgrade. This took me several hours to nail down, and honestly, I almost gave up. But then, I almost gave it this last try. This was the last thing I was gonna try. This could be the last time I was gonna boot this machine up. I was so frustrated with it. But now, we have World of Warcraft running on this old gal. To get this to work, I had to give up on moving it to another case. That's like completely out of the question. I'm not really sure if there's any legitimacy to it, but I feel like maybe there's one or two proprietary pins on this HP power supply, because even though it has a 20-pin ATX connector, when I used the nicer, more modern power supply on it, it just would not boot up in post. Well, for some reason, the Windows 98 PC no longer comes on outside of the case. I'm not exactly sure what the issue is, if we've completely fried it or it's just refusing to work with the new hardware, but I've tried putting all the old hardware back onto it and I'm still not getting anything. So I'm not exactly sure what the deal is. The only thing I have not tried is using the HP power supply instead of the upgraded ATX one that I used for the upgrade. But I think this might be a dead PC. I'm so frustrated right now. Updates in a minute. So I had to put all of the parts back into the old case, and then I even had to change the arrangement of the PCI cards, as there were so many conflicts either with IRQ or something else where the cards just didn't want to allow the machine to boot unless they were in a very specific order. And also the sound card didn't work at all. But luckily the onboard sound does work. Still though, mission accomplished. World of Warcraft, and it's not running at the worst frame rate I've ever seen. which is super surprising to me. I've seen World of Warcraft run pretty bad, and this isn't the worst I've seen it. It's slow, yes, but passable until it freezes. To help reduce crashing, I lowered the resolution to 800 by 600, and then I also draw the graphical fidelity settings, turned off VSync, a few other things, just to kind of try and get frame times to be consistent. And that's helped a lot, but still, after the game's been running for a while, it only typically happens, it freezes like this when I was exiting Stormwind. When you're going between these areas, I'm not sure if it's doing something where it's trying to load in assets, and a lot of freezes on this machine seem to be related to the IDE controller. I have a PCIe IDE card, but at this time I'm so deep in the woods, and as another commenter pointed out, they started on XP, a lot of us did. I was born in '85, and I did mess with a lot of these things as I started building computers when I was 8 years old, and I started on a machine much like this one, but I didn't really get into tinkering and building them a whole lot until I was in high school. And when I was taking my junior electronics course, we did our A+ certifications from CompTIA. So that was about 2004. I graduated in 2005. So that's really the era where I start to get into the meat and bones of what's in the PC. I even added RGB to this case to try and foster in some of the gaming spirit, to invoke the FPS gods, if you will, into this machine for World of Warcraft. Now we have it running somewhat regularly, and it's just awesome to see it running on this old tortoise. I did try a couple of the other games on here, and some more games I am willing to try, especially once we move up. So I'll leave the option up to you guys. Okay guys, so this is my call to action for everybody watching this video right now. I want to really hear your guys' opinion. We have two options we could do for the next video. We have where we can look in and explore some Windows 98 games that you guys want to see running on this machine, and I'm fully amicable to doing that. I really would like to check out some games, but I'm not exactly the best source for list of games from this era, as I was a little young at this time. I was like 10 years old, so I'm not going to be the best. I'm not the best guy to give you a list of games from that era, as I think I was playing a lot of Nintendo and Game Boy at that time. I wasn't even really into PC gaming yet. And then we have option B. And this is a compact Presario SR 1030NX. These were super popular in 2004, 2005-ish era. Has a Athlon XP 3000, 512 gigs of RAM, which is the minimum for WoW. But I do have some more DDR RAM, I do believe, laying around. But we can always move the SSD over into this. I also do believe that I have an NVIDIA 8400 GS that we could put into here. So if you guys would like to see this machine get souped up a little bit, or we can check out some XP era games, leave a comment below. And whichever of those you decide, you can either leave comments for games you'd like to see running on Windows 98. If you have a good Windows 98 game that you're familiar with, that you would like to see a video done about, I can always give it a shot. Other than that, I'm super interested in option B, and trying out building up the Windows XP machine to see if we can get the best experience out of games in that era, as I'm super nostalgic for that period of computing in particular. Now, the games that I did try, we tried 2 Nickelodeon titles.
Games.
We tried Nicktoons Basketball, which is kind of a 2D NBA Jam knockoff, super easy to play. You play with the mouse. It's built for kids, so understandably super easy to control.
Fairy World. With me, as always, is Chrissy Crossover.
I think we can expect a pretty weird game today if the court is any indication.
To you! Patrick's got it.
And the second was Nicktoons Racing, which is actually a 3D Mario Kart-alike. That's the best way I can put it. I don't want to just say straight racing game, because there are racing games and there are Mario Kart-alike games, if that makes any sense to you. But I did choose 2 titles that were very popular, either right at the end of 9X or like in that transitionary period where ME was a thing, but people were migrating to the NT platform. which again, another commenter had mentioned, and I'm right there with you guys, man. I do believe things got a lot smoother once we went to the NT platform, and just I'm way more familiar than XP than with NT4 or Windows 2000. If you guys enjoyed checking out this computer stuff with me, please consider subscribing to the channel. You guys have really come in clutch with the subscriptions, with the comments, with the views. I am super, super grateful, and I want to see more of that. Let's try to get me up to 1,000 subscribers, because I have a surprise for everybody once I hit that ceiling. I would like to announce it on a live stream. I will be doing a giveaway, so I really just want to always make sure that I give back to the people that help me succeed. But if you've reached this far in the video, this is the end. Thank you so, so much for checking out this whole adventure with me. It was stressful, but also very eye-opening, and I learned so much getting World of Warcraft to run on this Windows 98 PC. And as we can see, it's running. I'm at the login screen right now, so don't forget to leave the comments below for what you want to see in the next video. Thank you guys so, so much. See you in the next one. But before we can do that, we need to distract. Okay, so this was fully amicable person to have a bunch of lists or